Have you ever wondered what would happen if those fighting video games we played as kids, like Tekken, Street Fighter, and Mortal Kombat, would have happened in real life? Well, with the modern sport of mixed martial arts, that fantasy has become a reality. Mixed martial arts is a full contact sport where fighters of various disciplines fight each other to prove who is the best martial artist. Mixed martial arts is the fastest growing sport in the world. And according to UFC.com, the leading MMA organization in the world, they broadcast to around 149 countries and territories around the world, and to around 200 million households worldwide, with pay-per-views that gross comparable to that of boxing and professional wrestling. Yet with all this growth and popularity, mixed martial arts is still somewhat a controversial sport. It is perceived by many as a brutal blood sport. As a fan for many years, I would like to inform you all of the history of mixed martial arts and how it has evolved from a barbaric tournament to a respectable combat sport. Modern mixed martial arts began its origins in Brazil, when the Gracie family created Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in 1914. It is their own variation of the Japanese martial art of Judo. And they designed it for smaller people so that they could fight when they were on their backs and use leverage and timing against larger opponents. The goal was to get their opponents into a submission, which is to get them in a painful position where they are forced to submit and give up. It was made so that virtually anyone can defend themselves, and the Gracies claimed that it was effective since many fights end up in the ground. To prove that their fighting style was the most effective, they began the Vale Tudo tournaments, which was Portuguese for anything goes. There were no rules, and people could do whatever they wanted. The tournaments were very bloody and violent, but it became popular in Brazil and showcased the effectiveness of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. After many decades of dominance in the tournament, the Gracies decided it was time to spread their martial arts to the U.S. After several years of teaching in the United States, they were able to set up the UFC on November 12, 1993, to prove once and for all what was the best martial arts. In the tournament, there were many competitors of different disciplines, including Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, karate, sumo wrestling, boxing, kickboxing, and wrestling. Like the Vale Tudo tournaments, there were minimal rules, and things like headbutting, groin hitting, pulling the hairs were allowed. The tournament was a bloody mess, and a lot of people got injured, including some people who got their teeth knocked out. Nevertheless, the tournament was won by Royce Gracie when he dispatched 3 opponents in less than a total of 5 minutes. He would go on to win 2 more of the tournaments to prove that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was one of the most effective martial arts of all. With the success of the tournaments, it wouldn't be long before it caught the attention of many Americans and politicians. When Senator John McCain came upon the sport, he referred to it as human cockfighting. MMA fell into obscurity with the effort of politicians like him and the media. It almost disappeared. Luckily, the sport has made a dramatic turnaround in the past decade into a sanctioned sport. It is now comparable to boxing in admirability and how the sport operates. On April 3, 2001, the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board was able to create a uniform set of rules for mixed martial arts. Gone are the days of cheap shots and hair pulling, and now they have really good rules. For example, there are weight classes so that fighters don't have a size or strength advantage over others. They now wear open-fingered gloves to make strikes safer, but still allow for grappling. They have rounds now, but unlike boxing, it lasts for 5 minutes, so that fighters can use submission if the fight goes to the ground. Fighters are no longer the the martial artists that they used to be, who only studied one discipline. Most of them now practice a balanced way of fighting, with stand-up and grappling skills, wherever the fight ended, they can still be successful. Fighters nowadays are very dedicated to the sport and spend many years of their lives training to be the best martial artists they can be. Mixed martial art has been recognized by the U.S. Army as an effective form of hand-to-hand combat, and has incorporated those techniques into the Army Combatives program. Mixed martial art is no longer the mess it used to be. From the outskirts of Brazil to a full-blown worldwide phenomenon, mixed martial arts has come a long way. I hope that you all have a better understanding of the sport of MMA and can appreciate it a little more.